Hello everyone, welcome to the third unit of the lecture series on effective technical communication, and today we are going to learn the first topic from the third unit, which is project report. Okay, so report, as you know, reports are, the only kind of report that you must have heard of is a news report, right? Like any incident or anything which has happened, and you basically do a record of it. Okay, record of the facts and everything, and that is called report. Okay, report is nothing but a record of what you have done or what has occurred. Okay, but today project report is since we are studying project report, it is something completely different. Okay, now uh, project report is basically you basically write a project report once you have executed the project successfully. Okay, so uh, suppose you have undertaken a project, you have done it, you have finished it, and now you want a written record of everything that you have done, all the methods and uh, all the methods and all the data and everything that went into that project to basically, write something or write a report, on that. The documentation of the methods and the uh, data that you have applied in order to this report, execute this project is called a project report. Okay. So the project report is nothing but a documented version of the project that you have undertaken in the form of words, okay, and on paper. Alright. Now, of course, it has got certain elements, just like you have had certain elements for business letters and business proposals. In the same way, project report also has got certain, elements, okay, certain constituents. Okay. Now, let us take a look at what they are. All right. So before you write the project report, what you do is that there are certain things that go into that. Okay, that is the uh, execution of the project itself, data collection and analysis, discussions, interpretations, all of these things. So before writing the report, these are the essential steps which you need to look at, and these are the essential steps of execution of the project itself. Okay. Once you have a clear idea, or once the project is executed, and once you have the uh, you know once you know what data you have collected, how you have analyzed them, the uh, methods that you have employed, only then can you actually use these things in order to write your report in an organized manner. Alright. So before you start writing the actual report, what the first draft of your report will consist of is the are the main chapters of the report. Okay, like the main elements, the main stuff that you want to include, and only later will you have the introduction and other parts of the report. Okay, so once you have the main chapter with you, you know the comprehensive view of the main chapters and what your project will look like. You get a bird's eye view, and that will help you, write the report in a more concise and organized manner. Alright. So yeah. Now basically the first constituent of a project report is the cover page on the front display. Okay. Now the cover page of the front of the project report will not even serve to actually will not even serve as a, will will not just serve as how to put it. Just a second. The cover page of the project report will it will serve serve as an attraction, for you all or for the readers. It should have a catchy appearance, it should have an elegant appearance, so that the readers, they find they are induced to actually look at what it actually deals with, so that they are induced and so that they find that within themselves that interest to go through the contents inside. Okay, so the cover page essentially serves that function, and moreover, you will also get a quick reference, about the topic and the author and the and the classification of the report and the illustrations and the drawings and diagrams. So basically it is that the cover page serves as the attraction. It is the attractive constituent of the project report which will hold the attention of the readers to look at the contents inside. Then comes the title page. Okay, now the title page will basically, you know, uh, contain the name of the project. It will also contain your name, and it will also have the designation of the intended audience, like which audience you actually want to pertain it to. Okay. Uh, yeah. Then comes the certificate. Okay. Now the certificate will help you. You know, it will actually, it is like that. It is like an authentication. It is like that document of authentication which actually, you know, gives you, which actually formally acknowledges you as the, you know, main contributor of the report, which actually acknowledges you, which formally acknowledges you as the main writer of the report and as the main person who had actually, you know, from whose brain the project actually emerged. Alright. Then comes the letter of transmittal. Now the letter of transmittal, yeah. Now the letter of transmittal will have, you know, it is it basically conveys the report to the audience. Alright. So the letter will basically consist of, just a second. The letter will basically consist of the objectives, the scope, the methodology, the highlights, the important results, the significance, the other details, acknowledgements, and all of these things. So basically, this letter will give you an idea or the overview of everything that is, you know, inside your report, or all the contents of your report will be highlighted in the, you know, letter of transmittal. All right. Now, acknowledgements. All right. After the letter of transmittal, what you have is the acknowledgement, like who all actually helped you in carrying out your project. Okay. So that is the acknowledgement. Then you have the table of contents. Now you all know table of contents means the chronological order of the topics, introduction, what comes after that, what comes after that. That will have the contents and the page numbers along with that. Then comes a list of illustrations. So if you have included any diagrams or if you have included any images, that will be included in the list of illustrations. Then you will have the abstract. After the list of illustrations, you will have the abstract, where, you know, you will get a brief summary or a gist of what your project deals with, which will have very few words. Okay, so the objectives, the main findings, and the significance. Then you have the actual summary, where, you know, you will be, yeah, where you will be giving a summary of all the, you know, important elements of your report, the methodology and everything that you have, you know, basically employed. All right. Then comes the preface. Okay. Now the preface is nothing but what led you to write the report, how you organize the report, what are the highlights, the significance, the acknowledgements. So preface is basically how you came to not just write the report, but how the project actually emerged from your head, how you organize the report, the various sections, the highlights, the important observations and findings, and the significance. What does your project and the report signify? Okay. Then we have the copyright notice. Now the copyright notice is basically nothing but, you know, it issues a notice in your name that you are the legal owner of this project because it is your brainchild. Okay. So this is the copyright notice. Okay, where you have the right to reproduce and produce derivative works and distribute and perform and do the work publicly. Okay. Then comes the main text. Okay. Now, in the main text, you will have an introduction, discussion, conclusion, and recommendation. Now, in the main text, you will have all these things when you are actually, in the true sense of the term, you are discussing your report, okay, or discussing your project. So, the introduction will contain background, purpose, you know, authorization, the basic principles of theories that you have included, the methods of collecting your data, the general plan in developing the solution, comes the discussion section, which is the lengthiest part of the report, and it contains the information that supports the conclusion and recommendations, as well as analysis, logic, interpretation, and everything. So in the discussion, you will basically write in detail what your project entails or what your project follows. That is something that you will be including in the discussion section. Then comes the conclusion. Okay, now conclusion is basically where you will be summing up all the points. Okay, and it can be narrative, it can be in the form of points, or you can use it in the form of tables. Okay, so basically conclusions talk about the result of your analysis, the data, and how you have come to the results and all of these things, and summing up of the points, of course. Then comes the recommendation. Now recommendation means that if you have any further steps that you would want to recommend for the upliftment of the project or for the improvement of the project, if there are temporary solutions to your project, and if there are any suggestions which can be accepted by the recipient, and uh, you know any recommendations which are mandatory and all of these things. Then come the supplementary parts. Okay, now what do the supplementary parts include? Now the supplementary parts will basically include references, bibliography. Now it has a lesser role, but then again the references and the sources will get from here on. Alright. Then comes the appendices. Okay, where you actually just a second. Yeah. So basically, it gives you a detailed information about the descriptive nature, and if it is inserted in the main body, and it might interrupt the smooth flow of the narrative. Okay. So before including any material in the appendix, you should see whether the material is included to the subject of the report. You check whether it would interrupt the theme if included in the main body. But appendices contains material such as standard documents, detailed calculations and experimental results and statistical data, basically evidences. Okay. Then you have bibliography and references where you talk about the sources and the books that you have referred to. Then you have glossary and index. Okay, where where you will have a quick guide to locate any material in the report that you are looking for. You don't have to flip through the pages. The index will directly give you the location of the information that you are looking for. Okay, so these are the constituents of your project report, and these make up the project report. Okay. So this is it about project report. Now in the next lecture, that is feasibility report, we will again talk about, which is again a variant of report only. We will talk about what it entails. Okay. So that will be our second topic of unit 3. So with this we come to the end of the first